the thrill. I
2024, and this meeting has been posted on the Township Bulletin Board, electronic message board, WCTV, and on the Township website. Please join me in a salute to the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. D'Agostino?
Here.
Mrs. Grimaldi? Here. Les Hannah is absent. Mr. Lagrada?
Here.
Jeff Roberto is absent. Mr. Zitko?
Here.
Mr. Rivera? Mr. Rivera?
Okay.
It
was there.
He was there. He's there, just
All right, we'll look at it and see if he rejoins.
Okay. Mrs. Osmond?
here.
Chairman Getz?
Here.
Let the record reflect also in attendance are Attorney Gary Giantonio, Board Engineer John McKimmick, and Board Secretary Grace Kalish.
Very good.
There is Mr. Rivera.
Mr. Rivera's back. You unmuted?
Are you present, Mr. Rivera?
Yes, I am. Okay. Good to have you.
Chairman, we need a revised date on that caption below that image.
Oh,
It says 8/19/25.
yeah, okay.
Noted to the record.
Yes.
This is the zoning board meeting of today,
September
September 16th,
16th.
2025. Okay, moving on to the public portion, where we fixed that. To participate in the general public portion of the meeting, please click the link on the website and listed on the agenda to join the webinar. If you're at home, you will be asked to state your name for the record, and we ask that only one person speak at a time. This public comment portion is only for non-agenda items. Time is set aside later in the meeting to address questions or comments about current agenda items. If you are participating by phone, press *9 to raise your hand and *6 to unmute. At the end of the general public portion, no further general questions or comments will be accepted. And of course, if you are present in person in the audience, just raise your hand and you will be recognized accordingly. Okay, motion to open the public portion.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, is there anyone out there in the public, in the audience, in person that has any questions or comments or concerns that they'd like to share? Is there anyone at home who has any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing no hands in the audience, seeing no hands online, I'll ask for a motion to close the public portion.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Approval of minutes. Those members with a strike through are not able to vote due to absence or not being a member at the time of the meeting. August 19th, 2025 minutes. Has everyone had a chance to review them?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody have any comments, questions?
Nope.
Issues? All right. Motion to approve August 19th, 2025 minutes.
Motion. Second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Grimaldi?
Yes.
Mr. Lagrada?
Yes.
Mr. Zitko?
Yes.
Mr. Rivera?
Yes.
Mrs. Osmond?
Yes.
New business. Moving on to a request for an extension of Resolution ZB-24-19 for Total Build Solutions, Inc. for plot plan approval and variance relief for a new single-family home located at 662 Jefferson Avenue, Block 3102, Lot 9. So we did receive a letter from Jose Penafiel, who's the new owner, I believe, of the premises, requesting an extension of the resolution due to construction planning. They are unable to meet the original deadline. Do we have any more info on that, or?
It's here.
Okay. You want to come up?
do.
There.
Right there.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give this board is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
And just state your name for the record.
Jose Penafiel.
I'm just looking for that's Penafiel.
Correct.
Okay.
For his home address.
Sorry.
Yes, for his home address.
His home address.
For his address.
What is your address?
568 Hickory Ave, Saddleburg, New Jersey.
568.
Yeah, Hickory Ave, Saddleburg, New Jersey.
Speculation. Okay. So it's our understanding that you recently purchased this property
Yeah, about 6 months ago.
6 months ago. Okay. Do you have a copy of the deed or anything showing?
With me, I don't,
Okay.
but I can provide that for
We
you.
tried to look it up to find, because I just don't know. Yeah, I don't know who you are, I don't know if you own the property or not, and there's no consent. If the owner still owned it, prior owner, then we'd get a consent or something from them. I honestly don't know.
I can provide whatever you want me to. I was just told to come into the meeting. I gave the check, the
fine.
application, and they said it was,
Right, we just got this on Friday, the request, and that's
Yeah.
why we're bringing you in to hear what's going on. So why don't you tell the board, just tell the board what you started. You bought the property and
So I bought the property.
in 6 months ago, you said?
Yep, my intent was to build it and sell it, but I have a buyer for it right now. Person wants to buy it, build their home, and, they asked me to sell it to them, but to request an extension. Obviously, they would need to get permits and financials and so on and so forth.
And, all right, so,
I guess just so the board members who weren't here, I mean, I'm just looking at the resolution that was approved. This was for a property, it's a pre-existing non-conforming lot. And at the time they sought variance approval for minimum lot area, it's 5566 square feet, where a minimum of 7,500 is required. They sought variance approval for building height, 26 feet, 2 stories, where 25 feet, 2.5 stories permitted. They also sought approval for existing minimum street frontage of 50 feet, where a minimum of 75 feet is required. And this is in the Class 2 zone. And this application was approved. It was memorialized November 19th, 2024. So then we have someone coming in, you're requesting an extension for 1 year.
If possible, yeah.
and it's your understanding that the buyer wants to build in accordance with this resolution?
That's the idea, yeah. The idea is for them to buy it with, the plans that they're there already and the approved zoning and plans.
You have a copy of the resolution? I'm sorry. You have a copy of the resolution that I'm looking at?
I have it in email. Same thing.
Mr. Getz, could you
Yeah.
please say what the variances were again? I'm sorry, you go type in.
Let me just see.
Lot size, frontage.
So there was a variance for height, it's 25. This is what the board granted. The board granted a variance to permit a maximum building height of 26 feet, where 25 feet is required. They were also asked, it's an undersized lot, so they had 55
by 100?
5,500 square feet, or a little more than 5,500 square feet, with 7,500 square feet is required. So they had,
Undersized lot.
yeah, it's an undersized, pre-existing, non-conforming lot, so they had, the plans that they submitted, they sought a building height variance of 26 feet and 2-story, that was granted. They pre-existing minimum street frontage, they have 50 feet where 75 feet is required. Looking at what was approved, the board granted the 26-foot height variance. The applicant was to submit revised plans to the board engineer with proper dates and correct names, showing the dwelling was fronting on Jefferson Avenue. There needed to be a curb installed on Marianne Place if one does not already exist, and the applicant will maintain, clean, and mulch the area. Applicant's engineer must provide the board engineer with drainage system calculations, seepage pit. I don't know if any of that was done yet, giving the board engineer the discretion to determine if the seepage pit is large enough. If not, the applicant must install a larger seepage pit pursuant to the board engineer's recommendation. They would have to apply for a soil moving permit. The proposed new driveway will align with the existing driveway across Jefferson Avenue as best as possible. Those were the conditions and, basically undersized.
Just
vacant
the
lot.
comment on that, which I don't know
Yeah.
what it does now, but you said the curb cut on Mary Ann. The plans that were changed to put it on Jefferson, so that curb cut would have been Jefferson.
I was just looking at what was
Yeah.
approved last year, so. But that's what, they're coming in.
My only question is, if the extension is granted, what does it have to? Do they have to obtain permits by that time, or what is it that they need to do to by the end of the?
If construction is not commenced,
It has to commence. Construction has to
that's what it
commence.
says on our resolution.
Okay. I was just wondering with the timing, because it's September, and obviously I'm assuming they're not going to start building till spring. So I would rather not approve for a year, but 6 months only brings us to March. So I don't know if an 8-month extension might be appropriate so they can start the construction.
When are you supposed to close?
They want to close right away. The only thing holding us up is this.
Okay.
They're afraid that they're not going to have enough time to get permits and, the engineering and so on and so forth. So their fear is that they're going to buy this lot with the plans, and then until November, they're not going to have enough
Right.
time to get all the due diligence.
So you're under contract,
We're on the contract already, yeah.
You're supposed to close next month?
We were supposed to close last week,
Next week, okay.
but the lawyer wanted an extension on the resolution.
Correct.
So here I am.
Which I would want to if I were there.
Yes, yeah.
Well, again, anybody have any comments or questions?
So if I'm understanding correctly, it's 2 existing non-conformings. One is the lot size, the other is the lot width. 5,000 or 7,500 is required, 75 is the required width, 50 is what was provided. It's a 1-foot height variance, which we've since changed the definition of height. So it probably would comply with, if it were to go before the board again. I don't think this board would ever deny an application for an existing lot width or under those circumstances. From my perspective, I don't see a reason why we wouldn't extend the resolution. I wonder, somewhere in my dealings, I thought that approvals run with the land. Do we is that what we do? We set a term?
Well, we set it 1 year.
We set a term. So when we do, okay,
So if you get an approval,
I got you.
yeah,
Okay.
and generally you have at least 3 1-year requests.
Got it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this is basically just, it's not changing anything that was approved or amending it, it's just granting an extension, and this is their first request for an extension.
Right. Which I would again say, I would agree, and it was approved by the board. I would think that an 8-month extension would be more appropriate than a year, just to inspire everyone to start construction, so that we're not here again looking for another extension. But that's my only thoughts.
Yes, I don't think we should be able to give another extension. We've been getting a lot of extensions lately.
Yeah, so we can make note of that as well, that we're not inclined to give another extension after this initial 8-month extension. And of course, we would need some kind of, be contingent on just, we need some kind of ownership, like a deed that was recorded with the county or was sent for recording.
Something to show that you.
Something to show that you own the property.
Generally, a recorded deed would be better.
Do you want me to
Yes.
email it to you, drop it off? Like what's the best email?
I could email to you,
Yeah.
which is raised, right, you have.
Yeah, I have Grace's
Our
number.
board secretary.
Fred?
Yep.
Can I just ask, is this extension going to go to
Pedophile.
or the new owners, the people who are going to buy it?
So the extension would go to him
Yeah.
because he is the current owner. And then that extension would extend to the new owners.
Okay,
That's
but
my
that doesn't have to
understanding.
If they come back. then-
That doesn't have to be noted
Yeah, so-
in the resolution.
Well, we would make a note in the resolution that any new owner, the board is not inclined to approve another extension from any, under any circumstances.
Is this property in the impervious surface, is it in the right amount? Was that discussed since that ruling changed, like in, 24? Is there a property just,
I don't know, but I do know that it was approved in, under the guidelines at the time. I don't know as to the changes with regard to how this was applied with regard to the new changes for
So it
impervious
was
surface.
approved back in October 15th. I think that was after it was adopted.
Yeah,
Right? It was adopted in September 23rd or 24th or something
September 9th?
of last year.
That was introduced in September 9th.
This is not a new application.
No,
This is an
no, it has
existing
nothing-
application. So-
Right.
So the new rules only apply to new apps going forward.
right. I think Ms. Osmond's concern is just making sure that we're not violative of the new rules as well.
Because we weren't aware of the new rules.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably, whether we were aware of them or not, it was passed after those new rules were introduced.
Correct.
So,
And you only want to extend it for 8 months versus 1 year.
that would be my recommendation, but I don't know if anybody else has any other
8 months from what
feelings.
date? This date?
8 months from this date.
Okay, what is this?
So it means it's got to be resolved next month, right? There's got to be a resolution
Yes.
next month.
May.
And then at that point, they could,
Yeah,
well, yeah, because it wouldn't have expired, right?
because again, that gives them till May to start construction, which I think is,
Right. And then
Appropriate.
if they don't, then the new owners have to come and
then I have to come back.
So you're saying 8 months from today, not from November, from when it expires originally?
Yeah.
Because it would expire in November.
Well, what do you think?
I was just asking if you, going from 12 to 8, if you were considered
I mean, we
starting
could do
from
9 months from
November.
today, that.
I think just say the date, like say the, right?
June 1st?
Yeah.
June 1st. So that would be 8 months from, that would be 7 months from.
And I think that's possible, right? A person
November.
secures it,
Yeah,
they get financing,
I think that's doable.
they submit a
Yeah.
month to get permits, that should be doable.
I think so.
And then I guess construction start is defined, not, like, is it defined by silt fence, construction permit, digging in the, like, I'm
Shovel
trying,
in the
I don't want to be
Shovel in the
too,
ground,
Yeah.
but that was my question, really from before. I don't know exactly what that is. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Tree clearing,
Tree clearing.
tree clearing, shovel in the ground, silt fence, any one of those things. in my
Okay,
mind starts.
that's commencing construction. Okay,
Understood.
all right. I think that's plenty of time. June 1st, does it sound good?
So June 1st, you're potentially voting on June 1st extension, to June 1st, 2026,
Correct.
for construction to be commenced.
Yes.
And if the construction is not commenced for whatever reason, then June 1st, the application has to be revisited completely.
Yeah, they have to go back to the board.
Well, then come back and ask for another extension.
They can,
Well,
but
that's what I'm saying.
what we're saying is that we're, want it noted that we're not inclined to grant another extension. So they can certainly ask, but we're going to put it in this resolution that the board is not inclined
Basically, they
to
have to
grant
have
another
justifiable reason.
extension, yes. That will, as I said, I think,
But if the board doesn't, I'm just playing devil's advocate for 1 second. If the board doesn't approve it for whatever reason, that means the owner has to start a whole new application with all new prints, filings,
yes.
checks, everything.
Yes.
Yes.
if the board doesn't
Thank you.
grant it.
I heard that from a mile away.
Voice echoes.
Yes. Okay.
All right, so any other?
You gotta start digging.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, it has to get built. You don't want to leave it like that. That's
Again,
okay.
That's
It's,
I mean, that seems to be their intent anyway, but,
it's going to get built one way or another.
Yeah.
Whether they do it or I do it, I just, if it's June 1st, June 1st, it just. Now, I'm emailing Grace the deed, and then she can,
something that shows that you own the property.
correct. And then Mr.
Jens.
He's going to write the extension.
Antonio.
Okay. How long does that take?
It'll be next month, the written resolution.
Okay, so.
So if the board grants your request for an extension, then we'll prepare a new resolution,
Oh, you guys got to vote.
Yeah,
All right,
which
go ahead.
we'll be doing the next meeting, memorializing it and approving, so then you'll have a written documentation,
Got it.
like the one that you had when you bought it from.
Yep.
But just a new one extending that to
Okay.
June 1st.
Yes. Okay. If there's no other questions, issues, we'll take a vote. Well, I'll need a motion to approve.
We open the public.
No.
No, we didn't. Any member, motion to open to the public for
Motion.
this
Second.
issue, for this witness. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone in the audience at home has any questions? Anyone in the audience here? If you're at home, raise your hand. If you're in the audience and you have questions, raise your hand. All right, seeing no hands raised, I'll move to close the public portion.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And
I have a question. I'm sorry.
sure.
If we don't get this out until next month. And if they take 3 months to close the contract, the sale, that's March. They can't file for a building permit until they have the title, the new people. So we're basically telling the new people,
Well, it's February, but
is it February?
yeah.
It's
So
September, so if they,
because it would be, October would be the resolution. And
Right.
then, say they didn't close for 3 months,
January. Okay.
January, February,
Yeah,
that
never
fun.
Never
They'll
mind.
still have,
Yeah,
5
I
to
just
6
didn't want
months
to make it
get
so that
their
we had to
finance.
have the delay for our schedule.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that that would be any kind of issue. That seems to be plenty of time.
No, the spring is coming.
Yeah. Okay, so I need a motion to approve the extension under the conditions as set forth by Mr. Giantonio. Extension to June 1st, 2026, including in the resolution of the board at this time is not inclined to grant another extension, just so that the parties are on notice. And
the applicant.
the applicant will provide a deed within the next 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Next 2 weeks,
You'll have it.
or prior to the next meeting.
Yeah.
So that we can,
At least 10 days prior to the next.
yes.
You'll have it tomorrow. I just didn't know how to print it.
All right. So I'll ask for that motion.
Motion.
Second.
All right, roll call.
Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Mrs. Grimaldi?
Yes.
Mr. Legrata?
Yes.
Mr. Zitko?
Recuse.
Mr. Rivera?
Yes.
Mrs. Osmond?
Yes.
Chairman Gett?
Yes. All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck. Have a good evening.
Have a good evening.
That's this one. On
So that
to,
was the new matter. Okay.
yes. All right, on to resolution number ZB 2515 to approve the extension of ZB 2316 for Robert Terzi for a driveway expansion and temporary second shed located at 346 Fern Street, block 4409, lot 53. That one was.
I'm sorry, what is this?
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is for
Older business.
No.
Okay.
What's the ZB resolution for?
I'm sorry. I looked at the wrong one first. So this is old business.
Okay, we're on old business?
Yes,
Yes.
old business now. Resolution number ZB 2513
Brian Collins.
to approve the application of Brian Collins for a driveway expansion located at 891 Manhattan Avenue, block 2404, lot 23. Correct.
And that's the one we tabled from last month to this month.
Okay. So, wasn't here, so.
I think there has to be some discussion.
Well, this one was approved back in July, right? This was for a variance for driveway width.
We were gonna do the resolution, but then
And then other issues came
there
up.
was other issues that popped up.
Well, one of the requests from the board was that they provide, it was approved, but what was requested that provide a as-built survey confirming the impervious coverage is under 35%. And shortly before the meeting, they provided an as-built survey, I believe, to our board engineer, which I'm just looking at his handwritten notes, which I believe is 35.9%, is that right?
Correct.
34.9. Was it 34.9?
35.9,
35.9. And what is, 35% is the threshold?
correct,
Excuse me,
It's 0.9% over.
correct.
Okay.
But
but
there's a
that's
second.
not what the new rule said.
Yeah.
The new rule said that it's supposed to be 33%, the impervious coverage for that zone,
Right, but
the
that,
double A zone.
right, but again, the master plan was only changed in the summer
Yeah.
by the plan. So I ran into Mr. Toro yesterday, coincidence. We were talking. What he told me was that master plan went into effect during the summer, and it's to affect any new applications going forward. Anything that might have been out there as old, not finalized, goes by the old rules.
But
Because,
this is-
because, well, only because I'm saying is, this application he started doing work back in '22, I believe.
Oh, you're
So
right.
it's been going for the last
Yes,
couple
but
of
this
years.
was not an issue at
I
all
understand- I
until just
understand.
now.
What I'm saying is, how can we apply today and tell them to change everything when it wasn't then?
Well, if it was over 35 anyway, we still have a problem
Under the old,
under the old rules. So if it was 35.9, then it was,
Yes,
Yes.
it wasn't impervious until the driveway was.
right, it
John,
was
why don't
fine.
you-
Their application was fine, then they had the application.
All right, so my understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that prior to the ordinance regulating impervious area, which was adopted on September 23rd, 2024,
Okay,
there was no ordinance, no control whatsoever for impervious surfaces. So people were allowed to build as much as they want, except they had to be in compliance with the strict requirements of side yard, front yard, and rear yard setbacks.
yes.
So there was no requirement prior to 9/23/24. I asked Grace to look through the records of the building department for this property and give a timeline on when all the applications were submitted to the building department, when they were approved, and when this particular violation for the driveway was found by the township engineer. And I could share this with the board, or Grace could share this with the board, but it appears, and I'm not 100% certain, but it appears that most of the construction for the impervious area occurred before September 23rd, 2024. Because the violation for the driveway widening was brought to our attention on September 12th, 2024. And if you recall from the testimony, Mr. Collins testified that the driveway was the last thing. But I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure when this property went over if it's 33% or 35%, when precisely did it go over? Did it go over, and playing devil's advocate, did it go over when he widened the driveway, but that would be before? Did it happen when he installed this sidewalk along the left side of the house, which doesn't show on any of his approved plans?
That's another thing.
Was that missed by the township engineer? I'm not suggesting that. So it's quite possible, but I would say highly unlikely, that he complied with the rules that were in effect at the time. Regardless, this board made decisions on the width of the driveway. And Gary and I spoke at length today and about 3 weeks ago, and I spoke at length with Grace. And perhaps Gary could explain from a legal aspect, but the board really has its hands tied with regard to this and can only act upon what was discussed and decided at the July meeting. And impervious surface was not an issue, only that the applicant had to provide the plan. Now that he has provided the plan, my suggestion would be to consider and pass the resolution as written, which is silent with regard to any possible variance for impervious area. And then I correspond, much the same way that the township engineer corresponded to the zoning officer, stating that it appears that there might be a violation of the current ordinance, and that we asked the zoning officer to investigate, and the zoning officer would take it the route and possibly refer it back to the board for us to consider the impervious surface if he feels it occurred after September 23rd, 2024.
I think that would be a prudent course of action.
Did everybody follow that, by the way?
I understand that. Can I have a question?
Sure.
There's 2 pool sheds or 2 sheds on this property. Now, you just granted someone a variance for these sheds for another ordinance. I wasn't here for it, but I just read it in the resolution. Now, how was this property allowed to have 2 sheds on the property without having a variance to begin with? And I have one more question. What happens when an error, I don't want to use, makes a mistake is made, and the board catches it? Are we just to let it go and just say, as I say, they have that walkway, like you said, that wasn't anywhere on anything, and that, and then we have, as I say, it says 2 pool sheds. It says pool shed and it says shed in the back.
I would say, yes, we are supposed to let it go because it is not our job to enforce that. That would be the zoning officer, who then goes out and conducts an investigation to see if they're violating the resolution.
But can we say something, and does the
So I would
engineer
say
go
that would
forward
be
with that
included.
also?
That would be my role as the engineer
Right,
to
so we
point
would
that
include
out.
that or he would include that in his letter, and we would.
I mean, in the perfect world, we had an as-built survey before that meeting to know that, and the board could have, if they saw it, if even they needed a variance, because it's not clear whether they needed a variance for the impervious coverage, the board could have approved it or made some decision on it at that time. But we didn't have that. The board approved what they approved. The board didn't approve anything with the impervious coverage. So there was no variance given or requested. But we're at the stage of memorializing the resolution, so we can't now go back and start talking about that. I don't know if notices, it's not you have to have a public open meeting with the public being noticed that they got that. It would not be a good, put the board in a good position to try to relitigate that.
Now, with regard to the 2 sheds, It's my understanding that that was missed, possibly missed by the zoning officer, because when the pool was submitted for a construction permit, that did not go before a board. It's my understanding.
Now, this is what my question is. When
And
did this problem?
this
when
board
this
did not see it.
Right, when did this project start for the first edition on it?
Oh,
22, right?
21.
Yeah, see.
July
like, if
29th,
you do it
21.
piecemeal, things like this can happen.
Mhm.
I'm sure they can. I mean, I know they can. And this is what I'm saying, what chance then, when they do need something, they come to the board, you know, what are our options? And this is, you know, other than, I mean, our option is then to go to the engineer, and the engineer tries to, okay.
Right, we're,
We
you know,
referral to the zoning officer, and then the zoning officer has to take it from there.
Yeah, we're not the enforcement, and this was found probably on trying to close out their permits, right?
Right.
the
The
driveway
driveway.
was found, and the town engineer didn't know anything else, didn't know the second shed, but I'll certainly bring it to their attention. To the
Right, because
zoning
it
officer.
could still result in it coming back to us if, depending on the results of the zoning.
Would they make them, or could they make them come back?
Yes,
It's just that anytime the project is drawn out the way it is, you know, you come with another set of plans to the building department, and you come to another set, and it's very difficult to try to.
and plus we have two engineers on this application, and I try my best to coordinate with Mr. Beckmeyer, and it works. He's very cooperative. It's quite possible, if this does come back to the board, that Mr. Beckmeyer joins us, because we might need testimony from him on what he found when he went to go look at the driveway. So I unfortunately, I think we have to act on the resolution that was discussed at the meeting, because that's a record of what was discussed, and there's no going back. I've not only did I talk to Gary, I talked with other attorneys on this, and they agree. But going forward to correct what's right, and understanding that the board is not an enforcement body, that would be my role to bring that to the attention. And I could certainly copy the board on my letter, and I would send that letter, I'm going on vacation tomorrow, but I could send that letter out by next week sometime and copy you guys.
All right, please do. But I would agree. I think we have our duty bound to memorialize the resolution.
Memorialize it, approving over 35.
No, just the driveway width, that's it.
Yeah.
And it's silent with regard to impervious area. That would be my recommendation. And Gary, I gave you I don't know if you got my comments from.
I do, I have it right in front of me, because I don't know that we even got that far.
Yeah,
talking about it.
the last line of the first paragraph, I think you should strike that.
Right, because we had the applications found to conform with all other zoning criteria for the Class A zone, but obviously it may not be.
Correct.
Right.
It may not be. So we're going to strike that out. What else? We'll reference, so they did provide the as-built survey, was that dated July 28th?
Correct.
So that would go in the second page in terms of what was provided after the meeting.
Right, I don't know if you want to footnote that, but that was provided after the meeting on July 15th.
After the July meeting, it was dated July 28th. Provided after the meeting and just before the resolution. In August was to be memorialized. What else? We have page 3. You have at the top there, the original driveway was shorter, you have was narrower, so it's just.
Sorry,
That's okay.
that's the engineer in me.
That's fine. What do you have?
Yeah, I was highlighting the impervious surface, but
It's not really a comment.
it probably should not be in there, in hindsight.
It says the construction started in 2022. You said 2021.
They received, the application for the addition was received by the building department in 2021. And then, I'm sorry, what was the date that it started?
It says that the construction started in 2022 in the resolution.
That could be. I don't have in the timeline that Grace provided me when construction started, but the application for the first edition was received by the building department on July 29th, 2021. It's quite possible they couldn't perfect it and they waited till the spring to start it in
I'm
2022.
just saying, that's what, you know.
It makes sense. I don't know if you want to put my other comments in. There was sort of anecdotal. I was letting you know that they're
Yeah, I mean, well, with the conditions, they must prepare the broken crack apron, just add it in accordance with township standards, that's fine.
yes,
Um,
that's the most important remaining comment.
So any other,
So only de minimis changes.
yeah, we're not approving anything more or less than what was,
Which is the driveway with.
Okay.
but I'm just taking out that we usually have standard language that otherwise they comply with all applicable zoning criteria, but they don't, so we're just gonna take that.
We don't know that for
Well,
sure.
we don't know that yet.
Right, so I can't,
We will.
I don't wanna say that if it's not correct.
Okay. And you do concur that we are duty bound to
Yeah.
memorialize the
Yeah,
resolution?
we're approving, we're memorializing, we're just, this is a ministerial type of proceeding, is that we're approving the resolution.
So what happens if they do come back with something that's not right? Are they gonna be able to come back to us and say, well, you approved it already? You can't
We
say
approve-
anything, I mean, I don't, legally, I don't know.
Well, they're gonna be able to argue that, but
Well,
we're,
fine, but, you
we're
know.
gonna have to consider what they come back with. There's really,
This approval is very narrow. It's only for the width of the driveway.
yeah.
That's it.
And as far as we know, they didn't need any other variances for anything they did.
Right, but
This was-
I'm going to bring it to the zoning
Right.
officer's attention with the second shed and with the increase in the impervious area.
Right.
And I'm sure I'll get a phone call from him. And we'll
Yes.
discuss it over the phone.
And if
No,
those things
I-
are in fact not in compliance, then
Well,
yes.
that's what I'm saying. Will they just ignore us and say, too bad, and that's, you've approved it already, as is? So I'm trying to be devil's
Well,
advocate
it
here.
would all depend, again, it's gonna be a factual dependency on what's found, what's out of compliance, what's in compliance, and what we can then tell them from
When
there.
and where
And
and
the
how.
timeline.
Right, because if it was done prior to.
If it was
So if
all
the second shed
20
wasn't
prior to,
approved,
then
we could
impervious
say,
coverage
you
isn't
have to
gonna
take
come
it
into
down.
play
But if it was
anyway.
not
Right.
approved anywhere, and it's not conform, you know, not
It's
in
going to be in the
compliance.
hands of the zoning officer.
And he
Yeah.
may just turn around and say, well, you got to get rid of one of the sheds. Who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah, but if,
And not come back to us.
and they might
and then the
just get rid of the
zoning officer may
shed,
just say, just let it go.
Right.
That's always possible too.
but you'd have to take that up with the zoning officer as a private citizen. So, that being said, we'll ask for a motion to approve resolution ZB 2513. Yeah,
Do
that's
we need
ZB,
public comment?
yes.
No.
There's no witnesses. Do we need a public comment?
No, not for.
We'll open it up to the public. Is there any member of the public that has any issue with this, or questions, concerns, or issues with this resolution, ZB 2513? Anyone at home? Well, because I need a motion to open.
Motion to open.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone at home? Any issues, questions, concerns with regard to resolution ZB 2513? Anyone in the audience? See no hands.
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now we'll have a motion to approve resolution ZB 2513.
Motion.
Second.
All right, roll call.
Mrs. Grimaldi,
Yes.
Mr. Labrada,
Yes.
Mr. Zitka,
Yes.
Mr. Rivera,
Yes.
Mrs. Osmond.
No.
Okay. On to other old business. Resolution number ZB 2515 to approve the extension of ZB 2316 for Robert Tersey for a driveway expansion and temporary second shed located at 346 Fern Street, Block 4409, Lot 53. Do we have any information on this one?
This was the gentleman that came in and said that because he wasn't sure about his job, he wasn't sure if he was gonna do the work, and then all of a sudden it became stable.
Yeah,
This is the gentleman?
this was the property at 346 Fern Street. Right. So this was approved back in 2023, and we granted a extension for 1 year back in October of 24 to September 1st, 2025. Then the applicant requested another extension prior to the August meeting. And this was heard at the August meeting, August 19th, 2025, where yes, the applicant was sworn in and he requested the extension for another year. He thought he would have the project done, but it was put on hold for financial reasons due to his employment situation. His place of employment was being sold and he was unsure about his job security, therefore he put the project on hold. But then he testified that everything had been resolved and settled at his place of employment and he's ready to move forward and expects to finish in about 8 months, but was requesting a month.
Right.
That was,
So can we make this a June 1st too?
No, we did it.
well, we already gave it.
This is just
Oh,
the
just a more-
resolution.
Okay, sorry.
This is, were you here last month or no?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so this is what we approved last month. This is just a resolution. This is not a new request.
Right, okay,
I'm just reiterating,
got
yeah.
Understood.
Yeah, so we know what we're talking about.
All right, so this is the resolution on the extension. Okay.
it. Only reason why I.
All right, any
got
other-
confused because they saw 2 approval extensions, but this is really the resolution for the extension.
Right, like the one that came was new business. This was
The
a
old-
resolution for what granted last month.
Any other questions, concerns, issues on that one?
Yeah, I know.
All right, let's just be safe and motion to open up public motion regard to this ZB 2515. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any members of the public have any questions, issues, concerns with regard to resolution ZB 2515? Raise your hand if you're at home, electronically or physically if you're in the audience. Seeing no hands, motion to close the public portion.
Motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, if there's no other board concerns, a motion on the resolution.
Motion?
Second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Grimaldi?
Yes.
Mr. Lebrada?
Yes.
Mr. Zitko?
Yes.
Mr. Rivera?
Yes.
Mrs. Osmond?
Yes.
All right, any other board members, any other issues?
Grace, anything coming up next month? or-
Yeah, we have a residential.
All right, and we look forward to hopefully hearing from the zoning officer soon with regard to
Did
that
we get
other property.
any feedback on your letter to the mayor and council? Was a letter to the mayor and council
Oh.
about fees and?
So they
Yes,
asked for an analysis of the fees associated with the towns that we border, and I did provide them with that.
Okay.
Yeah, at the council meeting, they discussed it, and that's what they said. They said, oh, they gotta be ones from around. They can't be
Yeah, they wanted our neighbor, to see what our neighbors.
Westwood,
Compared to-
Hartridge, all the ones around here.
Yeah.
What was, wasn't there a couple of other issues? I can't remember.
So, so we have, at the next council meeting, they're gonna, I think, remove a board member.
Okay.
And they also are going to, it's a second reading of a new demolition code section.
Okay.
So we're changing that.
Okay. And you'll keep us up to date when any
I will
news
certainly,
comes in.
I will certainly keep you up to date.
Of course.
Yes,
That was exciting news.
yeah.
All right, motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I just would like to congratulate our engineer on the marriage of who's your daughter?
Son.
This weekend.
Friday.
Congratulations.
I just have to
And
show up
on your
with a checkbook.
vacation.
Yeah, not a word, not a word.
I just have to show up with a checkbook, that's it.
Is that the one and the same as the upcoming vacation, or, 'cause it's,
Yes, it's
Yeah.
vacation.
Yeah, it's vacation, but it's picking up people at the airport, cooking, helping my wife, who's Sicilian, cook for the 35 people at the rehearsal dinner, so.
do anything right?